What is going on, guys? It's Ryan from RPS Dent Specialists coming to you with the Dent Digest live show. Got a special guest here, Mark Blehm from Blehm Tools. How's it going, Blehm?
Good, Ryan. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's a refreshing thing to get you on the show tonight.
For sure. Yeah. Appreciate you having me on.
No problem. So we'll do a little recap. We last week we ended up having Mike from Heavenly Hail Repair on, going through some of his trials and tribulations. This week I wanted to get a tool manufacturer that is really making a push this year and give you guys a little bit of a background of where they've been, where they've come from. Some of you younger guys have probably never heard of Blehm Tools. So I wanted to get him on and, get the story out there and go over some new stuff that they have coming out. And, I got to spend a little bit of time with Mark down at Anson. So, we talked on the phone for a couple months and then just kind of started talking and going through the motions of what they have going on. And I wanted to get him on here and see what's up, So let's get into your story. Let's get this going so we're not running along all night long. How did you get started in the business?
So we got started, my dad, Jerry, founded A1 Tool in 1991. He was a mechanic in Acura, Springfield. First guy you ever seen pushing dents was Jerry Powell.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of you guys have heard of Jerry Powell. A lot of you guys probably knew him. So my dad seen Jerry pushing dents in a bay up there in Acura. And, it was super top secret thing in those days.
It was really quiet.
My dad would peek around the corner in the bay at Jerry and, he'd see my dad and he'd just lay his tools down and stop working. So, that's kind of how my dad found out about it. Ultimately, went and got trained to push dents, and the tools then were bad. There were no tool manufacturers at that time. Guys that trained made their own tools. They used trunk springs out of the ones my dad used were out of Acura Legend.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. They said they used torsion bars, for your bigger leverage rods and stuff.
Yeah.
Got trained. He needed tools. He saw a need for tools while being trained. Made a set of tools in his shop, at home. And, word of mouth back then, it just spread like wildfire, kind of.
Yeah.
So
how long what did he do before A1 Tools?
He was a mechanic there at Acura.
Oh, okay.
So he was a mechanic for, I don't know. Growing up, my grandpa had a shop. And, my dad and one of my uncles, they grew up working in the shop. One of my uncles still a mechanic today, but, yeah, that's his background, auto mechanic.
So he saw Jerry Powell and just kept watching what he was doing. I've never met him. I've heard stories, and I actually have a couple of his tools from A1. And some of the stories I've heard, it seemed like he was a really, really good tech.
Yeah, he was good for sure. And he was, to our knowledge, he was like the first guy in the Southwest Missouri area to really bring it in down here.
Yeah.
So, and Dad would tell us stories, they would have the big semi trucks, the car haulers full of cars, just wheeling them into Jerry's shop across from Acura. That was, the growth back then was really unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody really knew where it's going, back then.
Of course. And I kind of feel like in the last 3 years, just in our industry, there's a huge growth. So you have a couple of these bigger tool manufacturers that are out there, and then you have a lot of these guys like Ray Sapnew that came up with a lift right, and you have Dave Stream and James Lee from Elimident and all these little dent guys that have companies that are building tools, and you just see the evolve right now. You kind of,
Yeah.
I remember back in the day, I remember A1, Dentcraft, Dent Magic Tools. There wasn't a whole lot of stuff,
No.
a whole lot of guys around. Now it's thrown from every angle. I met guys at Anson that, even produced just some little stuff, and it just amazes me how many guys in our industry now that are involved. I mean, same thing with you guys, with guys coming out with new tools, throwing ideas at Dentcraft, throwing ideas at you. So it's really nice to see the industry growing in that direction of these smaller dent guys bringing out tools that are really functional.
Right. Yeah. And, really, really nice stuff too. I mean, it seems like you get a guy, that has a need for this one area, and they're coming out with really, really good stuff.
Yeah.
Really high end stuff. That's what's changed and is changing. Like I said, back in the 90s, this stuff was really pretty crude.
Yeah, I've got some in my garage.
Yeah. And a lot of the concepts you still do use today, guys use. I mean, like, the Jerry Powell back in the day, well, we were talking about sharp tips earlier. I mean, they were using sharp stuff back, way back then,
Oh yeah. Some homemade,
Yeah. Yeah.
So he was watching Jerry Powell, looking at some of the tools, and then where does it go from there?
So he went and got trained. It was Dent Crafters in Springfield. I think it was Kirk Stanton and Matt Miller, if I remember right.
Kurt Stanton. I haven't heard that name in forever. Holy moly.
Captain Kirk.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What a great guy.
Yeah, he's something else. I remember Kirk, I think he lived over in Stockton when I was in high school, and I played high school basketball and stuff. And I remember him in the stands and stuff. You know how Kirk, he's just, he's a good guy. He's fun to be around. So, okay. But yeah, I got trained. And I think he said Matt was actually the guy that, done a lot of the hands-on with Dad, worked one-on-one with Dad. So, he got trained, had a route in Southwest Missouri, done some wholesale with dealerships and stuff, had a route, was doing some work, but, like I said, the word got around so fast that he actually, was making, sets of tools at that time. And, the time from where he was running a route to the time he started making tools full time was a very short window. So I'm like, at this time, I'm a little kid. I don't know. I'm like, well, I'd be 8 years old or something. Mm. So,
and you're just watching it unfold.
Just watching it unfold, the biggest drive for Dad to do it was build the tools. The shop was at home, he could spend more time with us,
Yeah.
So, and
so did he quit being a mechanic and then decided to do tools and CDR?
When he got trained and just kind of dove in, took a leap of faith, and definitely paid off. Lots of wasn't, there's been lots of struggles and stuff over the years, but
that's business.
Like with anything. Yeah. But, and he building the tools, and we have a couple of them from way back early, and, man, they're just the advancements we've made in being able to produce tools is very, very significant from those days. What would take, I don't know, a day back then, takes us just, I don't know, probably a couple of hours. So,
well, I think the materials are different too.
Materials are different. He learned, the processes we use from back then are, and the tools we use are different. But yeah, just over all those years, we've really become efficient in producing tools. So
In this age, at the rate that the dent industry is growing, you have to be. Yeah, dent guys aren't always the easiest to get along with. You know what I mean? To keep happy.
yeah, right,
So you have to really stay in par with a lot of the other companies that are out there right now. So it does
right.
get difficult.
You
So
take
it's
you
good.
take 10 dent guys, you're going to get probably 9 different opinions.
Oh yes.
And the thing about it is because ultimately what matters, it is more of an art, as long as you're getting the results, the tools you use and the techniques really don't matter. And there are different ways. So
And I said
that's
this
part of the
last
reason
part.
there.
I said it's so crazy that you can have, like, I had Dave O in town from Windy City, and you look at his stuff and he's like, why are you using that? I'm like, because it works. I'm like, why are you using that? He goes, because it works. So we're fixing the same dents, but we're using completely different stuff. So there really isn't any right way of that end, of the tool end. It's all personal preference.
Right.
You know, uh, it's funny because I didn't have any Blehm tools before. I've heard of Blehm. I never really um, looked into it. I was a big dent craft guy for a long time, PDR finesse. And Chad from Endeavor Tools was like, man, I'm telling you, they're the sleeper. They're the sleeper. The handle, the ratcheting mechanism. He's a huge voucher for the shave tool set. And he kept telling me, and then I reached out to you, and we were talking. And I'll tell you, this ratcheting handle that you guys came up with is probably one of the best ratcheting handles I've ever used.
Well,
So,
thanks, Ryan. Yeah, it's just solid. It works, there's no failures with it. It's been good, and it's really taken off in popularity now.
yeah,
As far as individual tool wise, anything with ratcheting handle for us that's definitely a bestseller.
yeah,
Which personally, I if I were to push for a living, I mean, I would have that on, a, you
most,
know, anything I could get it on.
yeah.
So, which we now have capabilities of putting it on more tools, and we're going to be uh, adding it to a lot of our existing tools and coming out with some new smaller type hand tools with it.
Yeah.
So I've got this. What I just done today actually is that 5-piece shave set.
Look at that. He's
We
bringing new
now
release stuff I haven't even seen on yet. So look at this.
So this is the longest 3/8 tool in the set. Normally they have a T handle on there. They've
Hmm.
now got the ratcheting handle on there.
Now, is that stainless?
These are not
Or thin
stainless; they're
steel?
carbon steel. They will
Uh-huh.
rust, or if you use them, it's kind of more of a patina, but they will rust on you.
Okay.
Just a coat of you just got to wipe them down every once in a while. And I
Yeah,
know, like in humid climates, which we're pretty humid in Missouri here,
we're
but
really humid here in Maryland.
yeah, and like that, Texas down there in the summer, I know it's bad.
Yeah.
So here's the smaller one. Yeah, the 5-piece. That's the 5-piece shave set with
It's a nice
ratcheting handle.
flag on the end.
Yeah, not bad. And so we're talking sharp. We don't offer a lot of sharp stuff, but all you got to do, guys, is just when you order, if you want a sharp tip, if you want us to change this, just leave a note or something, on the order form, and that to change the tip just from this to a sharp, there's no extra charge. If
Rim
you want to
Fixer.
real,
Rim Fixer said he just picked up the Sharp door tool set. He said, thanks, Mark.
yeah, no problem, Samson. Glad you like them, buddy. So yeah, he was waiting for that short hook.
Oh, yeah. The
For the
secret short
short,
hook.
yeah. So these are now available on our website. We've got we sell this one by itself, and then we've got the longer one paired
I've got
with
the
it.
longer one here.
Yeah, those
Give you
two.
the idea. So it's funny how this one came about. I purchased this longer hook, and I do a bunch of GMs, and I was having trouble at the tops of the GM. Like a Colorado was exactly the problem I had, and I used the Dentcraft hook set that I've used for years. I've got a couple sets of those, and I was just struggling. And I reached out to Mark and I said, "Hey, wonder if we can make this about 12 inches long." And he's like, "Yeah, why not?" And I kind of explained the use of it. With it being 5/16, you don't get much flex. It's made out of stainless, and this thing is it's an awesome hook tool. I really, it's such a simple change. I think the only other company that had something like this was Ultra. So, and they have the one with the octagon that you can change the handle. But this thing, I just told Mark earlier, I said I use this thing on 2 different cars just today. So I use this thing all the time. And the good thing with Blehm stuff is it's priced right. It's not killing your pocket. The quality's great, and they definitely stand behind their stuff.
For sure.
I like dealing with some of the smaller companies, the homegrown, guys that care. Guys that are putting quality tools out there. Where same thing is like with James Lee, you break a light, you call him, he handles it. There's never an issue. So that's one thing that we're super, super fortunate with, that the customer service end on our tool manufacturers, certainly some of the smaller guys or even the larger guys, even Dentcraft, they stand behind their stuff. So we are fortunate, because there's a lot of industries out there that customer service is dead. It's sad to say.
For sure. That's like I've told a lot of people this. So that's, our number one goal as a business is take care of our customers. Without you guys, we wouldn't be here. And we really, really appreciate you guys' support. 2 is the quality of what we put out the door. So, like I said, it's me, my brother Mike, and my dad. That's our crew. That's it. It's us. So, we're not going to make sacrifices in our quality to ever pump stuff out. It's got to be right, or it's just not. It's not leaving.
Yeah. So how did after he's making some tools from home, and then how does the whole Blehm name come about, and how did you get into the mix of the family business?
So I guess how I got in the mix. Well, first off, me and my brother, we're little snot-nosed kids running around, and we were dipping tools in the old, like just the plasti dip, the stuff everybody's coating their cars with now and stuff. That's what we put. You have the little looped handle, and we were dipping them by hand in our laundry room. We'd dip it. You got to go real slow. You put 2 coats of dip on it. And then we would set it on our like washer and dryer and set soup cans on them, to hold them on the thing. We'd get 25 cents a tool to do that.
Oh my gosh.
I can remember doing it. I would do probably, I don't know, half a dozen or something. It's so meticulous.
Yeah.
Doing that. I'd be like, I'm done with this,
But it had to be fun as a kid. You're dipping it in this stuff, and
and you could make a few bucks pretty quick back in 91 a quarter was still actually worth something.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's kind of how we got started. We were always hanging around the shop, doing something. Really, I guess you pick up just by watching Dad. You learn more than what you think at the time.
Yeah.
So we've really got to see things change a lot, and of course, like my brother and I both, when we turned about 16 age range, old enough to get a vehicle, we both would work our summers in A1 at that time. And Dad decided to was thinking about selling the company. you know, it would have been 99-ish, 98, 99, 2000. So, at that time, so my brother graduated high school in 97. So he went to work full time at A1. Um, my senior year in high school, I was going to school half a day. You know, I had all my credits in. I kind of I knew what I was doing. I knew I was going to build tools when I was a freshman, sophomore in high school, you know.
Yeah.
Um, I knew where I was headed. And
Okay.
so, you know, worked there. And so he came to us and he's like, hey, look, you know, it had, by that point, it had grown, you know, wow,
Of course.
a lot. You know, he's lots of personal reasons going on in his life. He's like, hey guys, I feel like I, you know, want to sell. And he's like, he's like, is that cool with you guys? And I'm like, we're like, hey, we just want you to be happy, you know,
Of
do
course.
what you want to do. So,
Of course.
sold to John Kallenbach. He was like mentioned on another show. He was, the lawyer kind of facilitating the sale. And it worked out. He ended up buying it. And, you know, I worked for John, for several years there. And so did my brother.
Yeah.
Awesome guy. You know, I consider John one of my friends. You know, everybody that knows John and Maria know they're really great people.
Of
And
course.
he was good to us. You know, he was there for me and, you know, some hard personal times in my life. And, you know, I'll never forget that. And, yeah, we really think a lot of those guys.
Yeah, they're super. It's nice to see the families. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's nice to see the family end of this business of some of the manufacturers.
for sure. You know, and they're close. I mean, our businesses are real close together, and like,
So you were
you
pretty
know,
close to that tornado they were calling for the other day, huh?
yeah, we were in my storm shelter out back here. Yeah, it was headed right towards us, and yeah, lots of homes and stuff got torn up
Yeah,
in communities around here. I don't really know how many people got hurt, but you know, prayers for their families and everybody that was
definitely.
affected. So,
Definitely.
but yeah, we're out in the storm shelter. My dad texts me. He's like, "Hey, man, I think I'm gonna come up and jump in there." I'm like, "Yeah, come on," you know. So
He's like, you better start dipping those handles.
yeah, yeah, that's about right. Yeah, Dad back in the day, uh, it's funny. Yeah, he was all business back in those days, growing up, doing anything. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, we give him a hard time about that a lot now. He's kind of starting to mellow out. So, but I wouldn't trade any of it.
So he sold. You guys are still working for A1, and
Yes.
then I guess your dad decided to start Blehm after a couple years.
Yeah. So there was a big hailstorm in Aurora, Missouri. I don't know. It was in the 2000s, early half or mid. Um, so he got a deal going where he went down and worked a hailstorm, you know, for a few months. And, it was at that time, you know, the big thing was the handle. Um, he was using the loop dip handles, you know, and his hands were just killing him from that, you know, at the end of the day. So, he saw a lot of room for improvements in handles. So that's when he kind of came up with the idea for the mold injected handle that we have on all of our hand tools. So, you know, just couldn't let that idea pass by, and, you know, opened up Blehm and started producing those handles. And,
Now, are
you
all
know,
those done in house?
all of our mold injecting is done in house. Yes.
Okay.
Um, we do pretty much everything, except like our accessory stuff, but all of our bars, I mean, pretty much all the processes needed 95%. There are some things that we have outsourced, but
Yeah.
we do a lot of it.
That's cool.
95% of everything. So lots of heat treating is done in-house. All the machining, of course, on the
Yeah.
tools, and all of the mold injecting we do in-house.
So when he started that, did you leave A1 immediately, or how did that transform into
No,
you and your brother?
So it started off, he got everything going. He got like a few sets of these tools made. And the first thing he did was he went to Springfield, Missouri. There's some retail shops up there, and sold a few sets, and got a lot of feedback from guys, and just like, it was nothing but, positive, obviously. Because really that handle, and this is in 2006. I think I left A1 in 2007. It was either 6 or 7, man. I can't remember for sure.
Yeah.
But I left because, man, I believed in that so much, and still do. That handle today. I think it's still awesome, man.
Yeah.
I'm not just saying that because it's mine. I really believe that they're good. And I know a lot of guys. Yeah.
It's.
I know there
Good.
There are guys that don't particularly care for it, but like we talked about, you get 10 dent guys, you're going to have 9 different opinions.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I was talking to Ray about some different stuff at Anson, and he was explaining the fatigue. He feels less fatigue in using your handles than some of the other companies.
Right.
Just less fatigue on his hands. But we're all different. I have little kid hands here, so they fit great in my hands. But some of these guys,
right,
like Ian from Mobile Tech Shade, that guy's got the largest hands on a human being I've ever seen.
Yeah, he'll
grab your hands, and he's up in here shaking your hand because his hands are massive.
Oh, so. Yeah.
But so you started working with your dad, rocking and rolling. And it seemed like we said before, you were kind of like the sleeper tool company.
Right. And, even then, even whenever we started Blehm Tool, we didn't have a website. It was a word of mouth, phone orders only. Our phone rang all day long. But, so, and this is 06, 07, 08. Finally got a website. I don't even know when it was. It might've been 8 or 9, but and the reason, part of the reason, so we're changing the whole marketing strategy for one, or on Facebook, doing the social media thing, some videos, that the business model that I grew up watching be successful for my dad is not going to work in this day and time. So that if everybody's wondering, well, what, they're all over now, whatever, we're changing gears.
Well, I think
a lot of the younger generation coming in, it's this is how you communicate, and just trying to adapt.
I think you guys are it's just like me. 6 years ago, I wasn't on Facebook. I wasn't on Instagram, and I just started YouTube, and I'm late to the game. You know what I mean? So I think you have to adapt and grow. It's been really refreshing seeing your post, seeing a lot of people talking about Blehm tools, trying to get them back in the mix. And it seems like you guys are really making a push this year. You know what I mean? You're doing different marketing things, going through different events. And like you said, that was when I saw you at Anson, you haven't been to a whole lot of events, and it was nice to put a face to the voice and the social media stuff. You had a pretty good reception of people that were excited to meet you.
Yeah, for sure. It was good to meet, guys that I had talked to multiple times, but, and even after I came back, like I seen some guys, that I've talked to, and they were there. They were there,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't know they were there. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh man, I should have said hi. So if I
Exactly.
missed anybody down there, or if I looked at you and you thought I was being a jerk, it wasn't. I wanted to say hi, but it'll just take some time, man, to
Oh,
meet everybody. And yeah, like
for
you
sure.
said, put that face with the voice that you hear on the phone.
It was huge for you to come to that event. That was a definitely good event for you to show the Mark Blehm face out there. I don't know if you guys saw the post that Hudson put out there on
Oh yeah,
Dent
that's
Techs
awesome.
only, and it was funny. I remember the instant that picture came about, because I just got done. We were just talking there at the corner of the counter, and he Vince stood up on top of one of the tables, and we're trying to take a picture from overhead. And you've got to look back. I'll try to find it tomorrow and post it. It is
Yeah,
the funniest face, and the caption. It was like the first time you come to an Anson open house, and oh
it
my gosh.
that's awesome. Yeah, so I knew Vince was taking the pictures, and I don't know how he caught me. I don't even know what I was doing, but he caught me, man. He got me, and I was scrolling through Facebook and I seen that picture. I was like, oh man, I look like an idiot in that one.
It was perfect. That's what I said.
It,
When I texted you, I said, "Welcome to the club."
yeah.
It won't be the worst picture you've ever gotten. So
Oh
taken care.
no, I'm glad he got it because honestly, if you guys have never been to Anson, obviously I had never been.
Me
If
neither.
you're a tech, you need to go because there is so much stuff in that
Oh,
place. There's stuff there, and I've been trying to really educate myself on what is out there on the market, what's available to you guys, and there's stuff in there that I had never knew of.
it is.
So
It is truly a candy store for dent guys. It's almost overwhelming. I did a little video of my trip, and you can kind of see it's anything you want to buy on the market is just about there. Um, it is, you can touch it, you can feel it. I like touching some of the stuff. It's hard to tell online on lengths of tools or different stuff. And it was my first time there too. So it was, when I walked in there the first day, I was like, yeah, I'm going to get in trouble. I'm going
yeah,
to get in
it
trouble.
it's overwhelming. It was overwhelming for me for sure. Because I've been around PDR and tools, especially, man, most of my whole life. So
Yeah.
um, to see all that down there, I didn't know a place like that existed, and I'd seen photos and videos of guys in Anson,
Mm-hmm.
Daniel and Vince and
Oh, yeah.
stuff, but still, it doesn't. Uh, I don't know. I would like to go back when I can just walk around and
Yes.
just look at everything.
Yes.
So yeah,
So we're
pretty
getting some
pretty awesome.
questions. Are you planning on going to MTE Vegas or Orlando? What is your guys' game plan?
So game plan for MTE is Vegas d- won't. I don't think it's happening at all. It's not in the cards for
Okay.
us. November 7th, 8th, and 9th in Branson, Missouri. I don't know if you've heard about it. PDR World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
We will all be there, and we will have our full display. We'll have everything we have there.
Okay.
So check that out if you want to get your hands on our stuff, all of it. Come to Branson.
Okay.
It's going to grow this year. Lots of good feedback. So check that out. MTE Florida. I'm gonna attend. I'm gonna be there. Um, at least I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna meet everybody I can, shake hands, talk. The networking thing. Everyone says, "Hey, you got to go," just for the
Yes.
networking. So I will be there. Um,
I think
a
the other good
booth,
thing is now that they're Anson, they announced it at Anson that they are distributing your tools. So that's a big
right?
help too. So
Yeah. So there will be some of our stuff, and I don't know. They're not going to have everything, but We'll just see, man. I don't know. It's kind of a day at a time thing right now. We've got a lot of different things we're trying to do. Add some new tools. I'm doing a lot of different accounting stuff in our business, so we're just kind of being pulled lots of different directions right now. But we'll just have to see, man. It's a day at a time. But I'm probably not a booth. Probably not a booth at Florida, and for sure no booth at Vegas. And I won't be there at Vegas either.
Okay.
But the what is happening for sure that I can tell you right now, we will be at the World Cup in Branson, and I will be at MTE to take it all in. I've never been. He
has no clue what he's in for.
I'm sure it'll be just like the whole deal with Anson. So
it's way
I think
worse.
it would be, I think it would be, I talked to Drew Lechtenberg at last year at the World Cup, and he's like, dude, you need to just go. Just go down there and take it all in. So I think I'm going to take his advice and go that route this year.
And Anson should have some of your stuff in stock while they're at MTE. So if guys want to see something or touch something, I'm sure they're going to have some stuff on display. Just like this past year, Chad from Endeavor Tools didn't have a booth and had some of his stuff there that you could purchase too. So I'm sure Anson will have it. It isn't like they're not going to be there at all. So,
right. We will have a representation of tools. So
yeah. And you'll have, I'll be there. Ray Sapney will be there. So, we both know quite a bit about the tools and what's going on. So,
right.
We are getting some more questions here. Let's see. They're asking about some new tools, some upcoming tools that are coming out. I actually have a couple of them here. And don't forget, guys, I want to put this in here. So we are giving away this hook tool set after this show. So what we're going to do is we have until 8 o'clock tomorrow night, 7:59, I'm going to cut it off. And at 7:59, I'm going to cut it off. So what you have to do is after this live stream is over on the YouTube video, not in the live chat, you have to comment. The more you comment, the more chances you have to win those tools. And Mark will get those shipped right out to you, whoever the winner is. So what I'm going to do after at 7:59, I'm going to go live. I'm going to put the YouTube link in a generator, and it's going to generate whoever wins that. I'm going to do it live on Facebook, on my Facebook page, and get it out there. The handles will be different colors. You probably won't see that orange handle. That's pretty much one of the only ones available right now. So it'll be different
these
handle
two
colors
right here. Red and the blue.
Perfect. Red and the blue handle. So make sure you guys comment after the live feed on the actual video that's on the YouTube channel. And like I said, the more you comment, the more chances you have to win those tools. Free of charge, as courtesy of Blehm Tool Company.
So we're throwing in a new tool here too, Ryan. It's
look at you sweetening the deal.
This is the bendable flag tool we just came out with. This one's actually not the other two hook tools. The new short hook tool is available on the site now. This one's not yet. It's going to be another couple weeks probably. But this tool it's just like a lot of you guys have seen the bendable whale tail. So you've got a standard like tool temper out here, our whale tail temper, like our spring steel brace tools. You got standard temper here. So from there back to the handle is soft material, annealed. It's full round stock though, so it's easily bendable, but you still get good you still get good drive for twisting out here. Definitely not a leverage tool, obviously. No prying off of a hanger or anything like that with this. It's soft back here. So just clarifying that. But
Yeah.
you can bend this thing back and forth. You know, a good door tool, you know, to go down the door and the lower brace is there. This is a good top panel tool too. This tool though right here has a T handle. The ones we're going to come out with, they're going to have a pistol grip on them. So this is the only one of these out there. So you're going to get that too.
Wow, look at that. I don't even have that tool. Look at that. You guys are getting stuff I don't even have. I think I'm going to have to comment on my own video.
There you go. So yeah, and that's the thing, we're doing a lot of experimenting with just different options of our tools. So once we get everything in line, we'll you know, we'll make some headway then.
So I've got one that you actually sent out. It's the easy leverage, correct?
Yeah, leverage easy.
Leverage easy. So Marty from, what is that, Top Gun Training, correct?
Yeah, Top Gun PDR Training, Marty Runick.
So I haven't even had a chance to try these yet. There's a shorter one and there's a larger one. So they both have ratcheting handles. And if you notice about this tool is it's got a different type of bend to it. It's kind of hard to see on the, there you go. You can kind of see it there. It's got a little bit of a bend here and a little bit of a bend here and kind of a bow. And I think his main concept with this is it's taking the pressure off and you're using the heel of the tool. Correct? You're not using the shaft. You're not losing that drive.
Correct.
Is that correct, Mark?
Correct. The idea is the curve in that tool is to curve around the window. You put a window guard, you know, in the door on the window. Windows are curved. It goes around the window down to the heel. So you're able to twist and the leverage point stays on the heel right behind the dent. Versus if you've not seen it, you got to go check out. Marty's got a new channel on YouTube. It's not the Top Gun PDR Training. It is Runick Metalworking and PDR Tools, I believe. I need to look that up. It's a new channel on our Facebook, on the Blehm Tool Company's Facebook page. I made a post. If you scroll down to the bottom of the post, I have a link in that post you can just click. He done an excellent job on his video of explaining that tool. I would really highly recommend watching that.
I really enjoyed, he had a door on a stand with a window without a trim panel, and you could see him in that video explaining how it was driving. The inside of the door was marked. It was really, really well done. So you guys need to make sure you check that out. And then the other thing he did that I really enjoyed was on the longer one, he was explaining in the bottom of that door, if the window guard is down there, you're not going to get the leverage because it's kind of going to flap around a little bit. So you have to, you know, watch at the very end of where you're pushing. I think it's an interesting tool. You know, I think it's really going to be to where he's going to have to get a couple out there and let guys try him and give the feedback on it of how the leverage is. You know what I mean? It's something totally out of the box. That's one thing that I do like about it.
For sure.
It's got their ratcheting handle. So, you know, it gives you those options.
Right. And, you know, the deal, like you were talking about, you get down in the deal is you get in kind of the lower corner of some of these windows. They don't have the guides that go all the way down. So if you get that tool on that window, the window actually will flex and you lose drive. In those areas, your standard door hook or whatever, your door tool is better. So the idea, and on Marty's video, you'll see, so you got like, here's your standard door hook. You know, and even when when you put that tool down the door, you know, you would think that when you're twisting and you're pushing off of this area right here. But Marty shows in that video, actually,
you're pushing on the shaft.
You're pushing the leverage is way up here. It's way up here, and the more you twist it, it moves up and down the shaft. So the whole point of that leverage easy is if you can use it, it keeps all of the pressure
on that foot.
on that heel. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just another tool. It's just another weapon in your arsenal, guys. When you can use it, it's good.
We're gonna find out. I'm gonna give this thing a full whirl and do a little review on the YouTube channel and give you guys the realness of it. You know what I mean? The useful part of it, the part I do like, the part I don't like, and I may love it. You know, I may call Mark and say, "Hey, can we make these things super sharp, like a finesse?"
Yeah.
You know, so we're gonna have to give it the whirl. When I first saw it, I was like, "That's really interesting."
I'll tell you what. Whenever Marty sent us the first ones, you know, his version of it. And I don't think I even told him this, but I seen it. I was like, oh, what is that? You know? I didn't know, you know, but then, you know, talked to him about it. And, if you guys don't know Marty, which I've never met him in person, but I've talked to the guy. We spent lots of hours on the phone. He is very particular, and the guy knows what he's talking about. He knows his stuff. You know, he's been doing this.
He seems like he's he knows what he wants and is kind of methodical and you know,
Yes.
just in watching I've never met him. So, you know, just watching some of his video stuff, he's very good at explaining.
For sure. You know, I knew he wouldn't have even sent it if he didn't think it was a good tool. So,
yeah.
His version definitely looked different than that, but it worked. It functioned the same. And that version you have right there, I mean, he's been testing that thing for months now, and other guys have been testing it. And yeah, that's more than likely the final version right there.
Yeah.
We took some bend out of the long one. It was a bit much bend, so we reduced that.
So the bend in the shaft is what you're saying.
Yeah, the arch, the long arch. It had a little bit more. We reduced that, and yeah, I think we adjusted the lengths of it. Those are the two lengths that he felt were going to be your, you know, fit the most situations. Yeah.
And one of the guys on here, David, says it's a fender dent killer as well.
Fender dent. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess he's worked with them for, you know, I think he set up here. He was trained, or I don't know. I have no clue.
Right.
So
yeah. Awesome, man. I mean, hey, like we talked earlier, you know, it's about access and getting behind the dent and being able to push it.
Of course. And, you know, there's so many different door tools out there anymore. You know, me personally, I use a PDR Finesse 245 and then the 245S. You know, they're standard door tools. I have some of your stuff. I mean, there's so many options out there for different situations.
Right.
And then Pack Narlin on here says Marty's an awesome trainer. He goes, I still remember his training so clearly. So there's a lot of guys. I was at a new account today, and one of the manager there, he was big in the recon. I've known him a long time, and he just got into this management role, and he was actually trained by Marty. So that conversation came up today, and I'm like, that's funny. Here's a tool that he just came out with from Blehm. So, you know, he was like, I kind of remember that tool. So it's definitely been 10 years with him. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure he's had that version of his leverage easy tool that he made. I want to say he said he made that in like 2000 or 2001, and he's got a patent on it. So he obviously believed in it to go to that trouble. So
of course,
and you know, the concept's good. You know, we like it too. If you're looking to add to your door arsenal, you might pick it up. Mm-hmm. So,
and like I think it's going to take a lot for guys guys are scared of change and they like what they like,
Oh
and this
yeah.
is something completely out of the box. So I think it's just going to take some guys a little bit of getting out there and saying, "Man, this thing works really well," or back to the same thing. We could have 10 guys, and 9 of them are going to have different opinions. So,
Right.
but I
And
think it's just going to have to get out there.
I think that tool there too, you're going to have to spend a little bit of time with it to notice what the difference is.
Yes.
You're not just going to stick it down a door and be like, oh yeah, oh wow, I think you're going to have, you might notice a little bit right off the bat, but ultimately it will. The idea behind that is that there's no wasted energy, which is for a dent guy, longevity wise, that's the name of the game. So
saves the shoulder, the arm, the wrist.
yeah, it's just everything you put into that handle is going into the dent.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
when it's used where it's supposed to be used.
What else do you guys have coming out? Anything else new?
So I showed the 5-piece shaved. I'll grab it again here.
Mm-hmm.
So this is new today. This is the most popular tool out of the set, the shaved hook tool. I think you were talking about Chad. I think this is his go-to right here.
Yeah.
So this tool, this got a ratcheting handle on it now. It's just going to open up more uses for it. If I had them, I would want this. So that's why we're going that route. We're gonna do more hand tools with ratcheting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the big thing we're working on is we're working on some stainless brace tools, like left-right style brace tools that it's not the same alloy of stainless that we have in the bigger tools. What we do with our bigger tools works really well for those style of tools, but some of your thinner wire tools and stuff that are thinner,
Mm-hmm.
shaved back, we've discovered a new alloy we've been working on that we're wanting to bring that
Look at that. It's
to the market.
The cat out of the bag.
So
Letting the cat out of the bag.
We're working on it. It's not final yet, but we're
Yeah.
getting closer. We're getting closer. So that's what we're working towards. I can't tell you when it'll be. If we hit a snag, it might not ever be, but that's what we're working on. That's the biggest thing we're going to come out with. Hopefully,
look at this.
Hopefully, I'm not going to get ahead of myself, but
everything's calls tomorrow.
Good. Yeah. So it's just, it'll be a different offering.
Marty's stuff is available on the website, correct?
Marty's, those two tools are available on the site. Bendable flag tool will be coming. It's not on the site yet. Ratcheting shave set's not on the site yet, but that will be coming real soon. Like I said, that's today. That's new today. And
it's
new tips. We're going to be, we've got one of the big things. So we've talked, you're an exclusive sharp tip guy.
Yeah.
We're going to offer, and there's a lot of guys out there like you. So we're going to be offering more sharp tips as well. Okay. Ultimately, I want to get our site to where when you order certain tools, you have the option of standard tip or sharp tip.
Okay.
So,
and then like you said earlier, they can call in or I think there's a notes section too off of your website. They can go in and just put in, hey, I'd like them sharp. Or I remember you guys were running a limited edition black handle set, black handles, and you went in and commented if you wanted the black handle. So
yes. Yeah, just if you want, now I'm talking just modify the tip,
Yes.
Yes. Don't give us a list of, I want this bend different, I want 5 inches taken off of it.
Yeah.
If you want the tip, I'm talking the very tip. Like this tip. If you want that tip, like sharpened. Yeah. Yeah. If you want that rounded tip turned into a sharp tip, just drop us a note
Yeah.
and we'll make it happen. Or
Yeah,
call.
there's a rim fixer on here. He ordered a set of the door hooks and the sharp tips and asked for them to be sharper. So
Yes. We sharpen his are what we consider really sharp. And also we shaved the shafts down a bit on his. That cost extra.
okay.
But if you want to do anything, that's that's definitely a custom order. Phone that in.
Yeah. Okay.
But if you want to go from regular tip to sharp tip, just drop a note in there and we'll make it happen. And if there's a problem, I'll call you and we'll work it out over the phone.
And you guys have some really good glue tabs that we haven't even talked about.
Right.
Should have had some here. Look at me dropping the ball.
I know I didn't bring them either. So
they have the red oval crease tab that I actually bought originally from Dentcraft a while ago. They pull really well. You ended up sending me the orange crease tabs, and they can actually go end to end. At first, I was like, okay, I can't figure this tab out. But then we spoke, and the end is cut out of it, and it's so the tabs can go literally end to end.
Right. Yeah, the red ones that most people know about, they have it's a convex shape, which is like this on the bottom. So the end of it is convex as well. So if you try to stack those end to end, you will get the surface of the tab and then it goes up and then down the next tab. So the idea with those orange ones, you have a flat surface that's down that goes down in the crease the whole way. So you can just stack them end to end for longer creases or crooked crease, a curve or whatever.
Yeah.
Kind of like
you don't have that peak in the center. You can butt them right up against each other.
Right.
Which is a great idea. It's the red ones. I have not broken one of those yet. So
yeah, you're not going to break them. You're going to lose them. You're going to lose them or someone's going to steal them. That's how they go.
That's funny. Dent guys love taking tabs.
Yeah.
Tabs are the theft item. So
for sure. But yeah, those have been an awesome tab for us. They pull hard, they don't break. They're just good.
Well, I appreciate you coming on, man. I really do. Me and Mark talk periodically, so I was like, let's get you on. You've got some new stuff that's released, and he offered to put this hook tool, and now you're getting the bendable flag. So, make sure you guys, like I said, after the show, go on the video, comment on the video, not the live chat. The more you comment, the more chances you have to win this hook set and flag. And tomorrow night at 8:00, I'm going to go live, put it in the randomizer, and pick a winner. And Mark will get those things shipped right out. So make sure you comment, get in there, and the other week, was it last month, I gave away the door hanger. We're going to do this periodically for the next few months, one a month, and just try to, give back to the industry out there, to you guys. So, I really appreciate you coming on, Mark, and telling your story.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Ryan, for having me. I'm glad to do it. It's good to reach out, meet, and talk to a lot of you guys that have supported us over the years, and just super grateful for you guys. And just can't say thank you enough.
And the cool thing is, like, he's on Instagram and Facebook, and get in there and like his stuff. They're slowly doing things and releasing new tools and new ideas of stuff, and dealing with a lot of individual techs on some separate projects. So that's super cool too. Let's support the companies that support us. You know, it's kind of like Anson. You know, they were so welcoming at the open house. I mean, it's hard to not support a company like that too. You know what I mean? Small guys like you guys that are just in there building tools yourself, just putting tools together and just putting your heart and hard working hands and thoughts into the industry is awesome. So,
for sure.
But thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. And we will definitely have another exciting live show next week. But make sure you comment to win this set here. And I appreciate it. And remember, guys, keep it real. See ya.
For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me, going audible.